Gotta start this video with, there's the perfect outline of a pigeon, including its wings, on this window. It's so clear in person, it's hard to film. Can't believe there's not a dead bird on the ground beneath it. I heard when this happened and found this like the day after. Oh, also, this is a stray cat that I'm trying to find a home for, but it's snowing today. So I think this cat's gonna live with me until I find it a home. Kitty. I know. She loves being petted. She's really young. She's like, even sometimes when she's yowling and hissing at me, she's kind of purring a little bit. And likes being petted and lets me pet her. Come on. I don't think I'm kidnapping you. You're always out on really cold days. Okay, well, at least tell me what you think of this book. I got some pets. Oh, she is nestling. So you like that book? No. Mixed feelings. Have some relaxing music for cats on. I don't know. It doesn't feel very cattish. It's just music. Please subscribe to help my cats. The litter box situation does worry me. Will she use the litter box? Is this growling thing going to continue? There's also food here she could eat. Maybe I'll put her own food bowl too. I've been calling her Tux, Tuxie, Tuxany, Tuxan, Tuxer. I don't know. Finding a name would be useful because I've had to call this kitty from across the parking lot a couple times. And she usually comes running. Like, maybe I'll get food and pets. But now she feels betrayed. But I think I am doing the right thing here. It's been snowing on and off all day. It was a cold night last night. This cat was just trying to sleep in the wheel wells of cars. And there's another cat that looks like it's doing better, an orange cat. That one might have a sometimes home, but I don't know. My apartment may end up being a hub for rehabilitating stray cats. Not rehabilitating, finding them a home. You might get some cat on me violence in this video. What do you think? You can like climb up and then... I mean, no one's gonna want to watch this video because you never stop. Oh yeah. Did Squirrel look at you? That wasn't... Squirrel, I told you not to look at her. Alright, you've made your point. We heard you. Counterpoint, it's cold outside. You're in a warm place. You're hungry. There's food here. Alright, look. We're trying to read some sci-fi here, man. Why are you so against sci-fi, man? You don't like our club? We think it's cool. Yeah, we think it's cool. That's not true. Sci-fi is not just for nerds. No, that's not true. Well, what's so bad about that? Well, I bet the downstairs neighbors are loving you. I'm sorry, downstairs neighbors. It just occurred to me that she might also be in heat. A neighbor mentioned a couple days ago a cat that was in heat that was running around pursued by 3 male cats. And this cat does have an orange cat that follows her around. I sure hope that's not the case. Okay, this might be like a really weird video, folks, with a lot of meowing in the background. I want to move these books off the coffee table back onto the shelf. So I have read Frederick Polk's. I've read this. I mean, this is a really unusual book. You know, Cormac McCarthy gets all this credit for the nonfiction novel, but this is a nonfiction novel right here. It's just it can be categorized by science fiction books and packaged with science fiction books because it's so unbelievable. A nuclear power plant catches fire and the effects are otherworldly and unbelievable. That's Chernobyl. That's crazy. Yeah, I read this book when I was doing a deep dive into the subject of Chernobyl when I was writing my essay 101 Jokes for Epileptic Children, which was published at the New Delta Review and will be a chapter in my book in another form, in a slightly altered form. Nah, pretty similar. Let's see. Yeah, I'll never forget Chernobyl. I was a 6-year-old, like, kid, and 5 or 6, I don't know. I think 6. Pretty young, in Tempe, Arizona, kindergarten. And all I remember was everyone was freaked out about poison gases drifting across the ocean and stuff. Little did I know that I lived in the West, and there's already basically been a third world war fought here in nuclear tests. Chernobyl. That miniseries is really good too. Dracula. This one kind of started the whole vampire thing. There was Carmela beforehand. It's an earlier version. What the heck, cat? Can you just stop doing that? It's warm in here. Oh my god. Please stop. Like... I'm so glad I have this one. This one's hilarious. So my name is Mike Smith, and the main character in this name is Mike Smith, and the author calls him Mike Smith all the time. It's so funny. I'm glad I have this and read this. It's pretty cool. It's like a far future sci-fi story. I love stuff like that. I think I found this one in the early days of Google Books, and I was just like searching things like my name or various phrases or whatever. And I found a book. I was searching for New Mexico related books a lot because I was doing that one project. Cat, why don't you just chill out and like not be a homeless cat, and we'll find you a family. I know 2, maybe 3 people that are willing to adopt you. Hang out. I've mentioned you to a bunch of people. Not to mention YouTube. Just want to always be scrabbling? Living in a parking lot, chasing pigeons? Looking for scraps? Hiding in wheel wells? You could get all the scritches you want. You love scritches. Has been compared favorably with C.S. Lewis and Ray Bradbury. The cover. What a cover. It's incredible. When did we stop caring? When did book design get so boring? No, there's good stuff today too, but God. It's the triumph of, like, you know, the mainstream internet aesthetic, I think. Once called the new aesthetic. Not just that, just like this desire to streamline until, like, I don't know. It's pure utility. It's impossible, but that's kind of the feel. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't hate modern stuff, but there's a warmth in older work that I really appreciate, a vividness, saturation. I think there's no question that film versus digital, one looks better in pretty much any medium in which film is involved, and sounds better. Oh, Long John. Oh, Long John Silver. This cat looks like that cat. This could be your cat, folks. Adopt this cat. I have no doubt this phase will end, because that just seems like it expends a lot of energy to always be yowling. And I've watched a million videos from the dodo. Okay, you know, we're here to talk about sci-fi, not your problems, okay? I believe this book takes place in the world of Hardwired, also by Walter John Williams, and might even be a sequel, I don't know. Oh, it's about a clone. No, I bet it just takes place in it. More than either Zelazny or Gibson, Williams is a master of the intricate yet fast-paced plot, the essence of thrillers and novels of political intrigue. Whoa. Will they fall in love? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Puppeteers should be studying Baby Squirrel's face right now. She just yawned and then her face resolved into whatever this situation is. She's a little muppet. But I was so surprised by Hardwired. It seemed like not the kind of book I would be into at all, honestly. I didn't know cyberpunk. But super satisfying. And loved that there was a New Mexico connection. And there's a subtle critique of capitalism, I think, woven throughout these books. Not even that subtle. It's capitalism gone wild, and technology and industrialization gone wild. Everything interconnected. A new way of thinking and being. Put it down a little. He's really a very sweet cat. This is going to work out. Something good's going to come of this. The door into ocean. Okay, pretty cool. Like, this is very 80s probably, right? You not only know the protagonist intimately, you care passionately about the outcome. Oh, cool. Shora. Oh, I love the book, The Wheel on the School for young people, but that's just a great book. Masterpiece novel. And that's set in a town called Shora. I wonder if that's why I got this. Or it's great cover, it's intriguing plot. I love A Watery World. Though I've never seen Waterworld. Not against it. I like a big swing. Sci-fi world. Clockwork Orange. So this is the one the movie is based on. It's crazy. Real people have died because of that story. There have been copycat crimes. Burgess said he never would have written the book if he would have thought about that more. But about ultra violence in the future. But more than that, it's about free will. You know, say you can never sin because of a medical punishment treatment. You can never do anything wrong. You can never transgress. And so you're a good part of society, right? But what are you thinking all the time? Are your actions your own? Okay, first of all, if you have a comment to add about Anthony Burgess or Clockwork Orange or any of the sci-fi books we're looking at, raise your hand. Okay, you're raising your hands. That's good. Don't just yell, okay? There's 2 other pupils in here besides you learning about the books. I guess my secret's out. These videos are secretly for the cats. So that might as well film them. I'm going to lose all my subscribers if I don't get you adopted fast and if you keep doing this. Because I wouldn't watch your YouTube channel, or would I? Where a cat never stops yelling. My neighbors are going to complain, too. That's a factor. Maybe I should go downstairs and tell my neighbors about the situation. Say, it's just temporary. I'm really sorry. They're the only ones I haven't really met anyway. I mean, I met him, but it was like very brief, exchange of names. Like, you really want to know everything about your neighbors, because you do hear each other's lives a little bit. I mean, great design. I love how it repeats the title like that on the back. This reminds me of my title page in my book, which is 10 pages long, and repeats the name 27 times. Haha. Repetition is interesting, but I'm with Brian Eno. Repetition is impossible. If you hear something for the 50th time, it's a totally different experience than hearing it the first time. Repetition is a tool for artists. It's not bad. Probably some cosmic principle underlying it all. I mean, repetition is ultimately flow, I guess, right? But this whole book was written in a future dialect, Droog speak, and it's like Cockney, British, futurified, transmogrified over the ages. It's quite imaginative. And the book apparently has a very different ending chapter than the movie ends on. With a different resolution. Contrition, I think. Beautiful book, though. This shows that you can be very simple and have a beautiful book design. In fact, there are no visuals. It's all text. Magritte would approve. Duchamp would approve. What? Yeah. The questions, I like hanging out in that area. The questions of, when you include text in a work, how does that change their nature? The nature of the text, you know? This is not a pipe from, Magritte. It's written right across the canvas. But also, like, I don't know, sometimes musicians will say, like, I like to include vocals, but they don't mean words. They're just being used sonically or whatever, like an instrument would be. Like, is that what happens when you include text in an image? I guess it can be. Sometimes reading things in another language, looking at things in another language can put you on that track. I once read a book in Swedish the whole way through, and I don't speak Swedish at all. And maybe it was Norwegian. And I was just like, I wonder what that would be like to not be able to read the text. I like to do like weird little literary experiments. And at the bottom of every page, I wrote a line about what I thought was going on. I hope I didn't get rid of that book, but I might have. No. It's called Gdanska Nordska or something. Bet I did. It would have been in with the large-sized novels. I already looked through that section. Dang it. Oh, I could have written an essay from that or something. That's funny. I can do that again sometime. But there's only one Gdanska Givnorsk that I got from a hostile free pile in Guatemala forever ago. Hey, she's relaxing enough to stalk the other cats as prey. That's good. Prisma's like, what did you do? Kitty drama. Let's see, what else we got here? Yeah, this is why, there's an aphorism in early Alaska travelogues, like people climbing the Golden Staircase, Juneau and Haines, Alaska, that area, walking up these mountains with all their stuff, hoping to strike it rich. And some would, not most. Many would die. But there was, never been to that part of Alaska, but of course there's gold rush evidence all over Alaska from that era. There's some in New Mexico. There's, you'll drive a road that was the route of the 49ers or something, heading toward Clovis. So that was California. But anyway, they had a saying among those Alaskan miners: never help anyone. If you see somebody's cooking pans drop in front of you, don't tell them, don't help them, just never help anyone, only help yourself. I'm like, dang. That's obviously a harsh attitude, and I think it's not good. Oh God, this cat. I'm only remembering an all of errands I want to run, but I'm a little worried she'll trash the place when I leave. Anyway, every time I ever try to help anybody, it kind of sends me down that avenue. I'm like, ugh, what a lot of hassle to tangle yourself in people's lives. And if you ever try to help a homeless person, it's cool. You should. I'm not dissuading it. I've done it before and I'll do it again. But it's always messy. Nobody's ever simple. They're like, hello, I don't have a life of addiction and major problems. It's always complicated. One time my then brother tried to help this woman in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And she was in a wheelchair just drifting through traffic. So he did what any decent person should do and was like, lady, let me get you out of traffic. And then he gave her a ride from this side of this busy highway. Give me a break, cat. And turned out, so we tried to find a homeless shelter for her to go to. And she had been kicked out of every homeless shelter in southern New Mexico and West Texas. And we were calling everywhere. I think we ended up driving her to El Paso for one that finally opened up a week later. And I'm like, why have you been kicked out of all these places? And she's all, that's me all over. Stubborn as a bear. Stubborn as a bear. And my sibling and I still say that to each other. Stubborn as a bear. Stubborn as a bear. But anyway, I'm having these thoughts now. I really do want to help this cat, but I really hope my downstairs neighbors don't complain to the landlord. And I hope she's not in heat, because I ain't rich at the moment. And that will require taking her to a vet to get spayed real fast. Maybe I can find, there's programs and stuff. I don't know. I really hope she'll use a litter box. She sniffed that room out and checked it out. So far, so good. She really seems like a sweet little cat. All right, Mike, you're talking about sci-fi. What is this, cat talk? Kind of, because there's this cat that never shuts up. All right, kitty, you're being a bad house guest. Cool it with the constantly yelling. You're not kidnapped if you have nowhere to be. Wait, that's probably not true. You could still kidnap a homeless person. Okay. Well, Kitty, I'm just trying to do what's best for you, okay? All right. Once you create that metaphor, it all sounds psycho. But, yeah, pet owning is kind of weird. It is the strange thing. Because, sometimes you overrule the will of another living creature. But then humans eat animals, and that's really overruling their will. I was a vegetarian for 10 years. Ethically, I get it. I love animals. I don't want to hurt them. But evolutionarily, I'm humans and creatures like humans have always eaten meat. It's a core part of our diet. And it's actually kind of how the world works a little bit. The book Ishmael by Daniel Quinn explains it well, from an animal perspective, from this telepathic chimpanzee. I think it was a chimpanzee or some kind of ape. What are you saying? You want a home? You want to be adopted? YouTube. This cat lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. HMU. Prisma, what do you think? She immediately took my spot when I got up. That's so funny. Well, I'm glad you're not hiding under the bed still. I don't know what this is about, but I love Ursula K. Le Guin. You know, I'm really familiar with Ursula K. Le Guin's works for younger readers. Like, I read the Catwings books to my kids so many times, and I don't think anybody says that's her most famous work, but those are 4 beautiful and beautifully illustrated books about a family of cats that are born with wings. And it barely tries to explain it. It's just like a wonderful thing that is. The first book, you meet the group of cats. In the second, I think you meet Jane, this little cat that's next generation. And Jane, I think, slowly becomes the main character. And they're just really cool. I hope we still have those. We would. She also wrote this really cool book called Fire and Stone, a kid's picture book about a dragon that eats rocks and becomes a hill. And my kids and I read that so many times. And we'd always like lose this book and try to rebuy it and get misprinted books. It was like If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. Look, there's literally a snowstorm going on behind you, kitty. All right, you want to be out in that? You're homeless. You were just sleeping in wheel wells. Oh, don't be like that. Jeez, kiss yourself. Oh, you don't mean it. I was just petting you. Yes, you love the scritches. So maybe chill out with the attitude, punk. Little punk. Oh, you're just scared. Why don't you eat some of those hot dogs or have some cat food or some water? You're distressed, kitty. I yearn for the great outdoors. Oh, I love the snow and the cold. I feel so alive in it. Where would you even go if I let you out right now? Where would you go? You would go to a wheel well of a car, or you'd go under one of those white trucks back there. Note the dove imprint behind squirrel. It's like a white-winged dove. That literally probably was a white-winged dove. They're all around here. It's the main kind of pigeon we have around here. Cat, give me a break. People are more likely to listen to like the fire alarm YouTube channel than this crap. But I've not read much of Ursula K. Le Guin's adult sci-fi. Some, not much. But I will collect it all. A physicist who attempts to unite 2 planets cut off by centuries of distrust. I bet it's great. Extraordinary, absorbing, brilliantly wrought. This is what the best science fiction does best, and this is one of the best. Oh, Joyce. Her writing is remarkable. Her characters are complex and haunting. This video's probably gonna get like flagged for copyrighted music or something. But maybe it is relaxing the kitties. Finally, they're all quiet. I think I started this one. All these Earths. They put a hole in the universe, then they went through it, 2 at a time. That's kind of incredible. Sounds like it'll be mind-warping, brain-twisting. The skip drive. It brought the stars so close they almost touched the Earth, but there was no round trip. The drift, because the Earth you returned to was never quite the one you left. It was on a different timeline where you might meet yourself or find you never existed. The couriers at High Skip, the tiny 2-person courier ships, could span the galaxy in weeks, linking Earth's far-flung colonies at last. But who would pilot them? Nerd alert. This one sounds like pretty classic sci-fi, but also I want to read it. Oh man, this looks amazing. City at World's End. Did I use this in my book title essay? Did I have this one? In one split second, they were hurtled across time into a world a million years away. That's cool. Maybe I'll read this one instead of The Moon is Hell that I got out. This is in better shape too. It looks cool. It's always weird to read sci-fi in public. People react to it differently than when you read like literature. Every genre, I think, has its own public reaction, honestly. But sci-fi is very looked down upon. Like older, like established, financially comfortable people at like soccer games when they've seen me reading sci-fi are like, oh, I don't read science fiction. Well, then you're missing out. I only read books about boring things. Wait, I like all that literature stuff too. You all know I do, if you watch my videos at all. I mean, like, I'm doing that paperback project. That's all highfalutin literary stuff, pretty much. Fire at the Center. This one got into my dreams. G.O.W. Proctor. I dreamt such a vivid, like, realistic version of a dream of this that included exactly that cover image of this captive T-Rex taken from another time. So yeah, if you can time travel, you can go to other times and obtain specimens. And, you know, past decades really believed a lot more in the future power of telepathy and stuff. I think they all thought it was just a day away from being documented as a real science. And so it's often an element in otherwise hard sci-fi stories, even though now people would call that a fantasy element. But, you know, if you wanted to adapt these into sci-fi movies, all you'd have to do is give it a little nanotech twist or something. But also, who knows? Intuition might be real, and isn't that just a form of that? Maybe there is a collective consciousness. I'm an agnostic about reality now. I think things are weird, probably. I think, yeah, reality is like one plane, but why couldn't you have reality without time and space? They're just like qualities of existence. Mike, what are you going on about? Another Ray Bradbury collection with a pretty good cover. Pretty good. I Sing the Body Electric. I like it. All right. Yeah, it's good. It will be his best since the Martian Chronicles, says Playboy. Oh, it's a wild image. It's like someone... It was probably the mummy that was... I can't remember that story. Yes, use that bathroom room, kitty. Only go in there, please, and thank you. Oh god, this video is unwatchable.